everybody doing? The answer should be over the fucking moon after this week. It's Paul back from Magpie 24/7 with another view from the van. And yes, what a fucking week it has been. Semi-final bound, baby. Yes, fucking get in. I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon. That game should have ended 7-8-2, easy, obviously in our favour, of course. We absolutely and utterly fucked them from every angle. It was like a scene out of the Playboy fucking mansion, as we had everything covered, literally. You know, at the end of the day, we got the job done. Amazing scenes before the match, during the match, after the match, party atmosphere at St James's, and yeah, it's absolutely and utterly fucking fantastic. The job that Eddie Howe has done and how he is transforming this football club from top to bottom is unfucking believable. To be literally this balls deep in the competition is fucking mind blowing. It really fucking is. We've had all the Mackhams come on and obviously try and throw their two pennyworths in and talk about their fucking pizza cup and their night out and their weekend out down London in Trafalgar Square with fucking, well, ugly messes fucking pulling the keks down in the middle of the fucking Trafalgar Square and all those sorts of fucking shenanigans. But they can keep the fucking pizza cup, which of course never come with European qualification or anything else like that. They can keep that because we now, after the draw has been made, have a fantastic opportunity to get to Wembley. However, there's going to be a difficult match coming up to get there against Southampton. No doubt about it, but you know, we've had comprehensive victories against them. We've played them down at their place, and I'm 1,000% in belief that we will go down there, we will get a result. I don't think we'll play for a draw, but a draw or a narrow win, you know, anything else like that. Bring it back to St James's Park, under the floodlights, with the atmosphere, with the flags, with the scars, with the noise, with the passion, with the will of the fans, trying to push the lads over, you know, the final hurdle. I am, 100% confident that, you know, we will achieve that final spot. And after Manchester City got fucking dumped out by Southampton, so again, little bit of a cautionary note. But after they got dumped out, it could well be that the stars are aligning. You know, Southampton, yes, they did beat Manchester City. However, they have played shocking for the rest of the season. The rest of the campaign, take that into account. You've got to take it in the wider context. Southampton have been a struggling side. They're not playing great football. We are playing confidently. We're playing well. We're getting the results and everything else like that. We've got a manager who's in there and proven. And again, they have not got that luxury down at Southampton. So very much looking forward to that game. Can't wait for the two games over the two legs. And yeah, 100% confident that we will get to the final, and then we will play the winner of the Manchester United and Nottingham Forest game. But like I said, it's no disrespect to Southampton, not taking anything away from them. That will be a difficult game. This weekend will be a difficult game, no doubt about it, as Fulham make the trip up to St James's Park. Now there's a little bit of tears from Fulham, and I can understand why, to be honest. Not against us. You know, we don't take care of the fixtures and stuff like that. We've been shafted so many times over fixtures and this sort of thing that, you know, it's sort of water off a duck's back. But, you know, they played on Thursday night, they played in a derby match against Chelsea. They beat Chelsea, surprisingly so, really. I thought Chelsea might have a little bit of a comeback against Fulham, but, you know, alas, they haven't. They played on the Thursday night, obviously finished 10 o'clock, and they've been asked to play again on the Sunday against us. It's a very quick turnaround. You're talking about a rest and recuperation day, the following day, and then you maybe have a day's or a session's worth of tactics for them before having to travel up to Tyneside and, you know, get ready for an early kick-off on a Sunday. So that is very much advantage to Newcastle. However, it is a bit after the Lord Mayor Show. There will be an emotional sort of drain that's been on the players, the team, the staff, the crowd, everything. So that could come into effect as well. But look, with Eddie Howe in charge, I don't expect anything to be left to chance, certainly. There may well be a few changes coming into the team. I'll get to them in a minute. One may be sort of semi-enforced, but he may want to rest one or two and just tread carefully. But it's a dangerous game. That is a very dangerous game, as we found out against Sheffield Wednesday, when I honestly think we made maybe too many changes for that game. But I think there could be one or two that he's contemplating, certainly for this weekend's game. But look, when we played them down in London, down in their neck of the woods, we comprehensively again annihilated them in the home back garden. And again, it was at the time that you were sort of a little bit worried, a little bit, this could be tricky at the time. But we went down there and we did such a good job on them that I'm sort of feeling that way again. I respect what they're doing. I think they're undefeated since coming back after the World Cup break, but they've had some teams out of form, not the best of teams. They've had some kind fixtures all rolled into one. But again, as I've said every single time this season, for us to get the points, we've got to be at the top of our game. There's no room for error or fine margins for error. You've got to be at 100% in the Premier League or you will be found out. So again, we've got to go in with maximum sort of you're talking about mileage in the legs. We've got to have that ability to run, to be able to outfight, to outmuscle, and to sort of earn that right to dictate our game plan and our style of play on the game. And I've no doubt that we will do. I am confident that Newcastle will win. If I hadn't pushed on a scoreline, I think something like 2-0. We won down there, what was it, 4-1. So I think a 2-0, especially given the fact that they are coming off a very, very quick turnaround. Mitrovic, he hasn't done the best against us, but he may not make this game. He missed out last time out, didn't he? And I can't imagine that an extra day or two has made a great deal of difference to Mitrovic's availability. And it's always difficult with old players coming back to haunt you. So if Mitrovic is missing again, that's another massive boost for us. But I just think personally, never mind looking at Fulham, look at what we've got in the armoury. We've got a confident team. We've got the majority of it fit and available, which is good. Obviously a couple of long-term injuries, unfortunately, for that. But we do have Isak back, and Eddie Howe was talking about him in his press conference and said he's in full training. He's looking good. He's getting sharper. He's getting fitter. He's getting that, swing of things back into training. So that's encouraging. And and he was also asked, is he far away from his start? And he said he's ready. Anytime I want to call on him to start, he is ready to start. And this may well be the game that he comes in, because obviously there has been a turbulent week, an up and down week for Joe Linton. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this. I'm not going to sort of preach on it or anything else like that. The law will take care, as the law will. They'll take into account the circumstances and all those sorts of things. I don't condone driving. If I do have a drink, then even if I think, I'm well under the limit, I wouldn't go out. That's just the approach that I have. But Joe Linton was found guilty. Not found guilty, I should rephrase that. Police officers caught him, arrested him, and he's going to court, I think, towards the end of this month. That's my understanding of the situation. Eddie Howe was asked about it, obviously, during the press conference, and he said, look, he was shocked. I think we all were shocked. And then the question mark comes around whether he'll be included. Is he in the right frame of mind, the right place of mind, and is it correct morally to be able to make him, to have him playing in this game? And I've seen both sides of the argument. I've seen people who've said stuff about the West Ham lad with regards to what he did and other things and other discrepancies and other issues around dangerous driving and drink driving before. There is two sides of the argument, and all I will say about it, because I don't, drink driving is absolutely awful and the effect it can have on people's lives, but I trust Eddie Howe with whatever decision that he ultimately comes up with. I 1000% would back him on that. He knows the lad. By all accounts, he was very, very apologetic. He felt very, very obviously embarrassed, felt like he let everybody down. So Eddie will make that decision. The club will make that decision on the playing side of it, and whatever they decide, I would go with. And clearly, he will get the re-education that he needs. He will get all the support to turn it around so that this doesn't become a regular thing. Because as far as I know, it's a one-off thing. It shouldn't have happened at one time, but it's got to be dealt with and move forward, and it will be in that. But like I say, a tipsy-turvy week for him, because obviously he played a huge part in the successes earlier in the week. He was a major part of it. 89th minute, and he's still running around like an absolute man possessed. And there's a large part of me that doesn't want to lose that athleticism, his tenacity, his work rate, all of the good things that come with Joe Linton. I don't personally want to lose that from Newcastle, because again, it's sort of like a situation that's then going to affect the team as well. But I understand if he's left out, if he's forced out for I don't know how many other games, I would support Eddie definitely 1000% in that, and I think Joe Linton would take that on the chin and learn from it. But if he's in there, equally I would support him, and it's obviously comes a time when you've got to move on, and whilst you're in the stadium, you're concentrating on the football, the football matters and stuff like that. It's a difficult one, no doubt about it. I personally, and from what I know of the player and what I've seen of the player and what type of character that he is, and knowing that he's going to have a consequence to face when it comes to the court at the end of the month, I would probably include him in there. But I again respect other people who would have different decisions on that. But it could well be one of the changes that's made, make no bones about it. Isak is desperate for a start. Alan St-Maximum's desperate for a start, and both of them are capable of playing in the position that Joe Linton has been playing recently. Wide left we're talking about, or Joe Willock, again, as we saw, as he kept rotating with Joe Linton during the last game. He's more than capable of doing the job out wide left. So there is options to Eddie Howe out there, and he may well decide, look, I need him to be taken out of the firing line. He needs to know that I disapprove. So this is a consequence, one of the consequences of his actions. So he'll be taken out, and then somebody else will play there. And you'd probably think if somebody was to step in for him, it would be Isak. Just because I think Alan St-Maximum has just fallen down a peg or two, because this season we've come on so much, and yes, St-Maximum's carried us carried the club on his shoulders for previous campaigns, but he's been missing so often this time round that he has sort of fallen a little bit down in the pecking order. He's only getting the odd minutes, but I think whatever happens in this game, he needs more than 5 minutes or so during it. I think he needs to be brought on if he's a substitute. St-Maximum needs a good 20 to 30 minutes to show what he can do, to build up his fitness, to build up his confidence, to get his swerve and his swagger back. So I'm definitely looking, if the Saints on the bench, we need him to get more minutes. We need to keep rotating the squad round to protect from tiredness, fatigue, loss of form and injuries. So again, substitutes this weekend are going to be absolutely critical, and a strong bench is going to be critical to it. I've seen some people talking about Jacob Murphy as well, and perhaps he could come in, and again you could rest Miggy, but again you're talking about the work rate. He got through so many miles. There was a stat that I put up on the page that he'd covered way more than anybody else in the Premier League. He's way ahead by an absolute country mile. He's like the fucking Duracell bunny, isn't he? He's up, he's down. He covers every blade of grass seemingly during the course of a game. It's fantastic to see, but we're going to need that to break down what is sure to be a stubborn Fulham defensive setup, you would imagine, coming up, and wanting to get something from the game. They'd be, I think, happy with at least a point given our record. Nobody wants to take us on at the moment. One of the form sides in the league, one of the form sides in anywhere across Europe, Newcastle United. End of. It's unbelievable. But with regards to other things, Eddie Howe during the press conference talked about transfers. Nothing imminent, but he was keen to stress that the back office, the inner workings of St James's Park, the powers that be, are touching bases, are watching players, are making phone calls. So that is evidence to me that I think there will be stuff done this month. Obviously, Garan Kowal, he came in, but he's gone straight out. Made his debut actually for Hearts, coming on as a substitute with 15-16 minutes to go, and nearly got an assist. If it wasn't for a shocking strike, it would have been an assist. It was a great pass, a great run, great pace. So we're going to keep our eyes on Hearts and how they progress with Garan. Looking forward to him being back, in the summer for us, and hopefully being part of the squad pushing on. If you think about maybe possible European competitions, cup competitions next year, looking forward to seeing what he brings to the team. Crack and talent. But yeah, other things working in the background. We are still being linked with loads of players. Dan Ashworth's talked about a need to focus on youth recruitment, so I still do expect a few youth players to be brought in, and maybe one or two players going out and coming in. Ryan Fraser being snubbed for the cup game and stuff like that tells me he's not being fancied. There's something there, or they're not wanting to risk him, or I do expect the likes of him to still move on before the end of the month, opening up a space in the 25, which they will then look to fill up, with a transfer. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as what it's been over, like last year, but I think we'll definitely look to strengthen, to give Eddie the best possible hand to make a tilt on European qualification, or who knows, the Champions League as an outside sort of betting and stuff like that. But yeah, difficult game this weekend, no doubt about it. Matt Targett, he's still out. John Joe Shelby, he's still out. They are going to be long-term misses, but even the likes of Paul Dummett are now sort of pushing back for places on the bench, pushing back to be involved. They are available to us. But yeah, Pope will still be in goal. Kieran Trippier at the back. Some people saying, could there be a change at centre back? Not for me. No, Jamal Lascelles has been linked with an £8 million move away today to Wolves, but I'd stick with the two in the middle. I don't like centre backs changing too much if you can avoid it. Fabian Schär, one side, who's had a lot to say in the press. Check it out if you haven't already. He seems like an absolute barrel of laughs, doesn't he? He seems like a great lad. Schär at the back, partnered by Sven Botman, still undefeated in the Premier League, just turned 23 years old. Unbelievable fucking player, him. Dan Burn, he's from Blythe, don't you know? I wouldn't be surprised if he got another one at the weekend, because he doesn't score too many. He might go on a run. I don't know. Here, there you go. Stick a few quid on Dan Burn. I might do that myself. In front of him, you've got to play Bruno. Absolutely fucking fantastic, Bruno. Play Bruno in the middle, and then the two unsung heroes. I put a piece up about them on our page a day or two ago. Chronicles put something up today about the exact same thing. Unsung heroes, the miles that they put in, the unfancied, unnoticeable work that they're getting done at the moment. Still only really young, like 22, 25 for each of them. The best years ahead of them still, and they're putting in some great performances. Gave every drop that they had on Tuesday, and I just hope that they are ready to go for the weekend. So them two in midfield. The interesting bit obviously comes with the Joe Linton stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if Isak came in, because he needs to start, he needs minutes. He's had a 45-minute run out, then he's had a cameo at St James's Park. With the money that's been spent on him, I'd imagine he's going to play. So Isaac one side, Miggy the other one, to still get those, that sort of hard work and determination and that battling spirit firmly instilled in the team. And then up top, Callum Wilson, who's due a goal as well, so he's another one that I think will be looking to notch and to catch Miggy up in the goal scoring charts, because he's behind Miggy Almiron in the goal scoring chart. So definitely Callum Wilson to score, and then we'll want to know how you scored that goal. You know the chant. Looking forward to that one. So Callum Wilson, Dan Burn, I've sort of gone with scorers there. Why not? If not one of them, maybe a Bruno goal. He's due one. He's been close. He's been taking shots from the edge of the area, and he's been really unlucky. So Bruno's owed a goal as well shortly. But I'll still stick with me 2-0. So pick two out of them three. I can't be much more specific than that. But yeah, cracking opportunity. At home, nobody wants to play us at home. Our home record's absolutely superb. I think up there with Liverpool's, second best home record or something. Expect us to get the business done this weekend, and again further strengthen and further solidify the European push and edge closer to the 40-point mark. The scars and war wounds of not too long ago still weigh heavily there. So I always look 40 points, then I'm looking up for the next batch of games and where I think realistically we could finish. But I'm still thinking European qualification, and that would be a tremendous if we could get into Europe and win a cup, man, that's fucking unbelievable. I think everybody was just getting emotional and were on cloud 9 after this week's victory in the quarter-final over Leicester. It means the absolute fucking world. It really, really does. And speaking about meaning the world, if you could hit the subscribe button and the like, that would mean a lot to us. Myself and Kyle, Magpie 24/7. If you could hit the subscribe button, it does mean a lot. Kyle will be back doing the review of the game. We'll also have the usual stuff, the clips, the build up for before the match, after the match, for the Fulham game. So check that out on the Magpie 24/7 YouTube channel. We'll also try and share them over to the Facebooks and the Twitters and everything else like that. And that's it. So Fulham this weekend, got to send them packing home with no points. It's got to be ruthless. We've got to take advantage of the extra rest that we've had, the extra preparation time, and we all know that extra preparation time for Eddie Howe is like some sort of fucking superpower for these lads. So yeah, happy days. 2-0 I'm going for in this particular game. Let me know what you think the score could be down below. Will Joe Linton start? Will he be benched? Will he be out of the squad? Let me know that as well. But like I say, it's we're all trying to be respectful. Everybody will have different views, so it's just how you see it. He's done wrong. That's going to be dealt with. But what do you do with the Joe, the Joe Linton sort of conundrum at the moment? Is he in the right place psychologically to be able to start this game, or is it the case of getting back to basics and concentrating on what you need to concentrate on and to do the right thing on that side of it? I don't know. Like I say, it's all, there's pros, there's cons, but it all comes from something that is a major wrong, no doubt about it. But let's look at the rights, and that's Newcastle getting the 3 points this weekend, and then they can have a nice break before travelling for it's Palace next, isn't it? So yeah, the games keep coming, the challenges keep coming, but hopefully we keep up with the coming on the 3 points and we continue our fantastic league campaign this season. We play, of course, with no stress, unlike the rest of them who are shitting themselves on a regular basis. You only have to look at Chelsea. Look at Potter. Fuck me, he's aged since he's gone on to that job, hasn't he? With them struggling down in 10th. Trophy hell. But yeah, Fulham this weekend, they're 6th, they're confident, they're on a good run, but it's all about us. It's all about us getting the 3 points. So that, yeah, let me know down below. Take care, keep it tuned, and of course, I'll speak to you later.